So the cyclotron can be bought as a freestanding unit or part of a larger refinery with side buildings for making the cubes. This is just going to be the cyclotron itself. It's actually really easy to assemble. It's got not very many parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's only got 9 parts. It's got a lot of some of those parts, but there's only 9 different parts. And basically I have a 12-sided shape here. And so there's 12 panels that go on the outside and 12 panels that go on the inside in between these. This is the top, this is the bottom. And then these pieces go around the sides. And then these pieces interlock with the top and the bottom. And then finally you have the base and the struts that hold the whole thing up. So the easiest thing to do on this is just start doing the outside or the inside and put the whole ring together. And then start adding these on. So let's go ahead and do just the outside pieces, then we'll do the inside pieces. Like most things, you don't need to put too much glue onto it, especially since there's so many of these and there's so much surface area. So I'm going to put this onto here. And I'll do one on the other side too. So once you got the spacing on it right, the rest of it is easy. It goes on the other side. And now we just do the rest of it. As always, you may want a paper towel to... And as always, when you're assembling this, don't put weight off on the top of it to make it go off center, or you'll mess it up and curse a lot. All right. So a way you can help avoid doing what I just did a second time is go ahead and put them in on 4 sides, and then that's a much more stable structure. You can still mess it up, but it's harder. And if you can challenge yourself, so now I can push anywhere and it's much more stable. So 4 sides to start with. Okay, with all that done, go ahead and do the inside ones. Okay, and then if you have any doubts about whether they're in tight, just go pinch each one in the center. Press the whole thing down, and you're done. So now you've got a ring. Okay, so now that this is assembled, we're going to put these in all around it. And the easiest thing to do is to put it into 4 points. Again, just like we did the last time, because that'll let it stand up evenly and not rock and not throw things off center. All of these pieces will fit so that this notch goes into there, and that'll hold everything nice and tight. So I'm going to put glue into 4 parts. And we'll do that on the opposites, or on the other sides, the other 4 sides. Actually, let's go do 2 of them at a time for now. All right. Take one of these, just let it fall into place. Shouldn't give you any resistance. If it does, it just means something isn't aligned like it ought to be. Check out why, but you don't need to use much force on this. They do need to go in fairly straight. If you try to angle them in, it probably will get hooked on the wrong spot. And then as you get them done, you might want to just move them so that these pieces match up, because they are free to wiggle around a little bit in there so that they're aligned. Right, and we'll do the other 2 edges that are opposite of these. Okay, now that can stand up, while we do the rest of them. I'm just going to do them a quarter at a time. All right. You'll notice that there's several extras. Just include them just in case you do break a few. So if you're using enough force to break them, it probably just means something is misaligned. Now with that part done, we'll go ahead and put on the tops and bottoms of this. So I would take this, and if you can tell that there's any slant to the kerf at all, I would put that downward. Just to make it a little bit easier to get these things to align up. But there should be plenty of space. Go ahead and put glue. Let's do it on the side. Into each of these on both sides. Okay, so with all of this done, we're just going to put it down, start getting it lined up. It's okay if it doesn't seem to be lining up quite perfectly yet. And then just start on an edge, squeeze the things together. The nice thing is that as you put a little pressure downward on them, they will tend to squeeze in together. And then just start going around and doing that. Just keep the pressure on one end and start working it around. You just want to keep the pressure on it so it doesn't accidentally push up something you've already done. But, piece of cake. The nice thing is that the pressure downwards forces those 2 split pieces together, and then that forces them into the hole. And wipe off any excess glue. And then do it for the other side. Let's get it lined up. Start pushing down somewhere. Until they go on. Just keep the pressure on, going a ring around it. All right, now we've got a trim piece to hide all of these. So just going to put a little bead of glue all the way around it. Does not have to be very much at all. And just line it up so it covers up all of those really well. And do the same on the other side. Okay, and now that part's done. Might want to let it dry there for just a few minutes, just to make sure you don't accidentally misalign it while you're doing something else. And we'll double check this side. Nope, that's all still good. And then we're ready for the base. These pieces fit into that slot, and then this fits onto the edge of it. So it has a pretty nice solid lock on it, and basically just go around and do all of those first. Sometimes the little eyepieces in here stay stuck in. Just pop them out. Okay. This one's just a little loose for some reason. Don't know why. You'll notice there are a couple of extras here. For some reason you mess them up, but those are pretty robust pieces. And now, take this, go ahead and put a little glue onto each side. And then we're ready to flip this and line all those puppies up. Again, this doesn't require much force, just a little care. So started, it's usually easiest to put a little pressure onto one side and then just align each one as it becomes the hold up. And you start being able to put more and more pressure onto it as they all line up. Flip it over. You can see which ones are still causing a little bit of problem. There we go. As always, if it seems like you're having to use a lot of force, it's because one of the pieces is misaligned, and you just got to figure out which one it is and help it not be misaligned. And that's it. You can look at it from the bottom and just see that all of them are in like they should be. If they're not, come back through, give it a little bit more. Use your thumb to push down from the top. So I'm pushing down on this first little joint in there, first little nook, to help them line up. And that's it. One fully formed cyclotron, ready for action.